Psalm 119, Preface and Discourse 1 of Expositions on the Book of Psalms, Volume 5. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Expositions on the Book of Psalms, Volume 5, by St. Augustine of Hippo. Psalm 119, Preface. I have expounded all the rest of the Psalms, which we know the book of Psalms containeth, which by the custom of the church is styled the Psalter, partly by preaching among the people, partly by dictations, as well as I, by the Lord's help, was able. But I put off the 118th Psalm, as well on account of its well-known length, as on account of its depth being fathomable by few. And when my brethren deeply regretted that the exposition of this psalm alone, as far as pertaineth to the psalms of the same volume, was wanting to my works, and strongly pressed me to pay this debt, I yielded not to them, though they long entreated and solicited me. Because as often as I began to reflect upon it, it always exceeded the utmost stretch of my powers. For in proportion as it seemeth more open, so much the more deep doth it appear to me, so that I cannot show how deep it is. For in others, which are understood with difficulty, although the sense lie hid in obscurity, yet the obscurity itself appeareth. But in this, not even this is the case, since it is superficially such that it seemeth not to need an expositor, but only a reader and listener. And now that at length I approach its interpretation, I am utterly ignorant what I can achieve in it. Nevertheless, I hope that God will aid me with His presence, that I may effect something. For thus He hath done in all those which, though at first they seemed to me difficult, and almost impracticable, I have succeeded in adequately expounding. But I decided to do this by means of sermons, which might be delivered among the people, such as the Greeks term homilia. For this is, I think, more equitable, that the assemblies of the church be not defrauded of the comprehension of this psalm, by the singing of which, as much as by that of others, they are wont to be charmed. But let the preface end here. We must now speak of the psalm itself, to which we have thought it right to make this preface. Psalm 119, Discourse 1. Verse 1. From its commencement, dearly beloved, doth this great psalm exhort us unto bliss, which there is no one who desireth not. For who either can, or could, or ever will be found, who is unwilling to be blessed? What need therefore is there of exhortation unto that which the human mind of its own accord seeketh? For truly, he who exhorteth aims at this, that the will of him with whom he dealeth may be excited towards that on account of which the exhortation is employed. Why then are we exhorted to will that which we cannot but will? Save because, though all desire bliss, yet most men know not by what means to attain to it. And therefore this is the lesson which he teacheth, who saith, Blessed are those that are undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Lord. As much as to say, I know what thou wishest, thou art seeking bliss. If then thou wouldest be blessed, be undefiled. For the former all desire, the latter fear, yet without it, what all wish cannot be attained. But where will any one be undefiled, save in the way? In what way? Save in the law of the Lord? But on this account, Blessed are those that are undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Lord, is not said superfluously, but is an exhortation necessary to our minds. For what good that is whereunto many are slothful, that is, that they should walk undefiled in the way, which is the law of the Lord, is thus shown, when it is declared that they who do this are blessed, so that on account of that which all wish, that may be done which most do not wish. For to be blessed is so great a good, that both good and bad men wish for it. Nor is it wonderful that good men are good on this account, but this is wonderful that wicked men are wicked, that they may be blessed. For whoever abandons himself to lusts, and is corrupted by luxury and debauchery, seeketh somewhat blissful in his wickedness, and thinketh himself miserable, when he attaineth not to the pleasure and joy of his lust, while he never hesitates to boast of his bliss, when he doth attain it. And whoever burneth with the flames of avarice, collecteth for this reason riches by every means he can, that he may be blessed. Whoever desireth to shed the blood of his enemies, whoever seeketh dominion, whoever feedeth his cruelty by the disasters of others, seeketh bliss in all his crimes. These then, wanderers, and seekers of a false bliss by true misery, are recalled to the way by these divine words, if they be listened to. Blessed are those that are undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Lord. As if he said, Whither are ye going? Ye are perishing, and ye know it not. The road ye are traversing is not the road to where ye wish to go, for ye wish to be blessed, but those roads whereby ye run are miserable, and lead unto still greater misery. Seek not so great a good through evil means. If ye wish to reach that end, come hither, travel by this road. Ye who cannot abandon the wish for blessedness, abandon the wickedness of a perverse road. Ye are wearied with fruitless endeavours to reach what ye are polluted by attaining. But they are not blessed who are polluted with error, who walk in the perverse ways of the world, but blessed are those that are undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Lord. Verse 2. Listen now to what he addeth. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies, and seek him with their whole heart. No other class of the blessed seemeth to me to be mentioned in these words than that which has been already spoken of. For to examine into the testimonies of the Lord, and to seek him with all the heart, this is to be undefiled in the way, this is to walk in the law of the Lord. He then goeth on to say, verse 3, For they who do wickedness shall not walk in his ways. If therefore they who walk in the way, that is, in the law of the Lord, are those who search his testimonies, and seek him with all their heart, doubtless they who do wickedness search not his testimonies. And yet we know that the workers of wickedness do search the testimonies of the Lord for this reason, that they prefer being learned to being righteous. We know that others also search the testimonies of the Lord, not because they are already living well, but that they may know how they ought to live. Such then do not as yet walk undefiled in the law of the Lord, and for this reason are not as yet blessed. How then are we to understand, Blessed are they that search his testimonies? Since we see men search into his testimonies without being blessed, because they are not undefiled. For the scribes and Pharisees, sitting in the seat of Moses, of whom the Lord saith, All that they bid you observe, that observe and do, but do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. Even they searched into the testimonies of the Lord, that they might have good things to say, though they did evil things. But let us leave these men, for we shall be justly answered, that they do not search into the testimonies of the Lord. For they do not seek them themselves, but they seek somewhat else through them, that is, that they may be glorified by men, or enriched. This is not to search into the testimonies of God, not to love what they show, and to refuse to go where they lead, that is, unto God. Or if they themselves search the testimonies of God, yet if they do so not that they may seek and find him, but something else from these testimonies, surely they do not seek him with all their heart, which we thus see is added here not without purpose. For the Spirit who saith this, aware that many search his testimonies for the sake of some other object, not for that which is set before them, hath not only said, Blessed are they that search his testimonies, but hath added, and seek him with their whole heart, as if teaching in what manner, or with what object, the testimonies of the Lord should be searched. Lastly, wisdom itself speaking in the book of wisdom saith, The wicked seek me, but they find me not, for they hate knowledge. And what else is this, save they hate me? They seek me, he saith, and they who hate me find me not. In what sense then are they said to seek what they hate, save because they seek not this, but somewhat else there? For they desire not to be wise for the glory of God, but they wish to seem wise for the glory of men. For how do they not hate wisdom, which teaches that what they love ought to be despised? Therefore blessed are those that are undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Lord. Blessed are they that search his testimonies, and seek him with their whole heart. For by searching his testimonies thus, that they may seek him with their whole heart, they walk undefiled in the law of the Lord. Did he then, who said, Good Master, what good thing shall I do, that I may have eternal life, not search his testimonies, not seek him? But how did he seek him with his whole heart, to whose counsel he preferred his own wealth, on hearing whose counsel he went away very sorrowful? For the prophet Isaiah also saith, Seek the Lord, and when ye have found him, let the ungodly man forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. Both the ungodly and the unrighteous then seek the Lord, that when he is found, they may not be wicked and ungodly. How then are men already blessed, when they are searching his testimonies, and seeking him, since even the wicked and ungodly can do this? But that the wicked and ungodly are blessed, what wicked or ungodly man even can say? Through hope, then, are they blessed, as they are blessed who suffer persecution for righteousness' sake. Not for what is present to them, as long as they suffer evils, but for what will be present, since the kingdom of heaven is theirs. And blessed are they that hunger and thirst after righteousness, not because they hunger and thirst, but for what followeth, for they shall be filled. And blessed are they that weep, not because they weep, but because they shall laugh. Therefore blessed are they that search his testimonies, and seek him with their whole heart. Not because they search and seek, but because they will find what they seek. For they seek with their whole heart, not negligently. If therefore they are blessed in hope perhaps also they are undefiled. For truly in this life, though we may walk in the law of the Lord, although we search his testimonies, and seek him with our whole heart, yet, if we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. But this must be more carefully inquired into. For the next words are, For they who do wickedness walk not in his ways. From which it may seem that they who walk in the way of the Lord, that is, in the law of the Lord, by searching his testimonies, and seeking him with their whole heart, may be already undefiled, that is, without sin, on account of the following words. For they who do wickedness walk not in his ways. But whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, saith the blessed John. And he addeth, For sin is the transgression of the law. But this discourse must now be closed, nor ought so important a question be contracted within a narrow space. End of Psalm 119, Discourse 1.